Hi there, Tim Bauer here from LiveVideoGuitarLessons.com with the practice tip of the day. This one is for the advanced player, and today I'm starting a series on some basic chord theory. And today in this video we're going to cover something called chord laddering. Some of this you probably already know just by playing. You know, if you're playing in the key of C and you change to some kind of a D chord, it's going to be D minor almost always. So you get, or if you're playing in the key of A, you know, change to some kind of an F sharp chord, it's going to be F sharp minor almost always. Chord laddering explains why that is, and if you understand why, you don't have to memorize everything from every chord from every key. The same rules apply in all keys. So even the keys that you're not familiar in playing, you can figure out what's what. So, and we're gonna talk about this right now. I'm gonna set the guitar down, and this is more of a theory lesson. So I'm not gonna do a whole lot of playing in this. Where that comes from, this is my little. I'm going to put the autofocus on, so I might be going in and out of focus a little bit, but I want you to be able to see this. Alright, so this is my basic. I'm going to hold this up for a second. So you can get a screenshot of that if you'd like. But basically what this is, this explains chord laddering. I've drawn my C scale out across here, and the way chord laddering works, this scale generates these chords. And I put the minor chords in red, and I put the major chords in black. And I probably should put this diminished chord in red or a different color, but my mistake. I was typing it up fast. And the result is, when you do chord laddering, you get major chords on chords 1, 4, and 5, and you get minor chords on chords 2, 3, and 6, and you get a diminished chord on chord 7. We're going to kind of ignore that 7th chord, that 7 chord, because you don't get it much in pop music or rock music or country or whatever. You get it in jazz sometimes, and we'll talk about it in another video, but we're just going to cover it only as we need it today. You're not going to need that chord very often, so we're going to skip that. So where this comes from, and I'm going to try to do this fast because this is, you know, pretty basic concept. So if I'm these chords are based on the degrees of the scale. So the 1 chord is the root of the 1 chord is C, the root of the 2 chord is D, root of the 3 chord, and so on. So, and what we're doing, we're playing wherever we are, we're playing every other note. So if I want to know what the 1 chord is in the key of C, I take my C note, and that's my first note, and then I skip over the D and play the E, and then I skip over the F and play the G. So C, E, and G, hopefully I'm pointing the right way, I'm looking through the back of the page here, generates a C major chord. If you plot out what those notes are, that's a C major chord. Same thing from the D. I start on the D, skip over one, get to F, skip over another, get to A. D, F, and A make a D minor chord. I go to E, same thing. E, G, and B, E minor. When I get to F, F, A, and C, think of this as a circle. F, A, and then back around here to C. That's a F major chord. Same thing, G, G, B, D is G major. A, C, E is A minor. A, C, E. And B, when I get to my 7th degree, B, D, and F, and that makes a B diminished chord. Like I said, we'll talk about that later. So anyway, that's basically the formula for writing songs. Now I have to qualify this. I'm going to turn this autofocus off so I won't be so fuzzy there. I'm going to have to qualify this just a little bit. This is the way a song should be, you know, theoretically. You don't have to put any of those chords in there if you don't want to. You can throw stuff in there that doesn't even belong, and there have been a lot of famous songs that throw weird chords in there on purpose. If you think a lot of the, especially the grunge bands, I'm not going to mention any specific bands, but the grunge bands that came out in the early 90s, they put stuff in there on purpose that didn't belong there, and they made a lot of money from it. But I'm talking about basic theory. Okay, so I want to draw a little analogy here. Okay, so our 2, 3, and 6 chords are minor, supposed to be minor. And let's call it, if we're a painter, let's call this our main palette of colors. You know, a great big palette, and that's what we're painting from. You know, we have if you've ever seen the artist, you know, they get the big palette. All right, that's the main palette. But we have something called secondary dominance, which I'm going to go over in detail in an upcoming video. But just so that you know, I just want to qualify. The 2, 3, and 6 chords are supposed to be minor, but you can make them major, and that's when you're talking about secondary dominance. And that's another long explanation that I don't have time for in this video. But you can make that 2 chord major, and usually, well, I was going to demonstrate it real quick, but you know, you get if I use a lot of secondary dominance instead of this, if I put a bunch of secondary dominance in there, it makes it really, really happy sounding. So I get. So anyway, and that's in the upcoming video. All right, so you need to know this for not only the chords that belong in a song. They help you kind of, when you're sounding out songs, they help you anticipate what's supposed to be there, so you don't have to like guess from just scratch. I mean, that's what belongs there. But you also need this, and this is another upcoming video. This is kind of the foundation of everything. The reason when you're playing your thirds intervals, the reason some of them are shaped like this, and some of them are shaped like this. No, I'm sorry. Never been talking before while I was doing that. This is a major third in the key of G. That's my root note there. So, and if my 1 degree is major, my 2nd degree is minor, and the 3rd is minor, major, major, minor, minor, and the 7th. In terms, that's what this little thing down here. I'm making this video a little bit too long. I'm sorry. This little thing in italics down here, in terms of, get that where you can see it. If you see on the bottom there, minor 2, 3, and 6, and 7, chord 7 for intervals and non-chord applications. That's what we're doing here, and we'll cover that more. But that's where you get the full octave of it. So major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, minor, major. So and like I said, we'll cover that in other videos. And we're also going to need to know that when we start talking a little bit more about, or start talking some about playing modal scales. It's the same thing. The Ionian is major, and the Dorian is minor, and the Phrygian is minor, and it corresponds with the degrees of that chord laddering thing. So anyway, hopefully I didn't confuse you with that. Just keep in mind that the main point of this in your chords: chord 1, 4, 5 major, chord 2, 3, 6 minor, chord 7 don't worry about it, but it's more minor than major. We'll put it that way. So anyway, hopefully that helps. Tune in for the upcoming videos, because we'll be using that, and we'll tie it together with more applications. I just wanted to give you the basic theory here. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Tune in again tomorrow for another one, another practice tip, and I will see you then. Thanks. Bye.